So my last video, I had mentioned that I had like an untold story. There was a video I put up about, I think it might have been my medical exam from when I was in China. So this is going to be a story about immigration. So first of all, in China, this is my experience. While I was in China, we was told, well, before I went to China, we were told that you should always carry your passport with you, just in case you get stopped by police and they ask you for your passport. I guess if they're checking if you're allowed to be in their country or not. So one day at work, this was like I think early last year, 2014. Oh, Happy New Year. It's 2015. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. I think I mean, yeah. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. It's now like January, I think it's January 19th or 20th or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, one day at work, one of my housemate, he got a message from one of his friends saying that, oh, immigration just came to his school and took away some teachers and stuff because they didn't have their passports on us. So we went back to our house and got our passports and we like photocopied them and stuff, thinking that, oh, immigration might come for us, blah 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 blah. Even though we were legal, like we was told that a lot of the people that they took, they just didn't have their passports on them, and then they took them down to the station, and there was like hour waits and stuff like that. So even though we were legal, we still went to get our like passports, and there was some other thing, like residency passport thing, that we also got and we photocopied, then we carried around with us since that day, um, just to like, just to, just for safe, not safety, I don't know the word, just for reassurance. So, yeah, that's basically what it was like in China with immigration. But it was like my experience with it, what I had previously mentioned, well, kind of mentioned in a few of my other videos. It must have been maybe a week, yeah, maybe not even a week, maybe like 5 days. I had been in China. This was November 2013, and I went to a class with another English teacher that was there. I wasn't actually teaching, we just went there just to see like training. So it was like a reading class. So I'm there with the book, and she's there with the book, and they were talking to the students. And someone opens the door and takes a picture. So I look at, the lady's name was Emily. So I look at Emily, and I'm like, oh, what's going on, kind of thing. Like, why is this person taking pictures? So then Emily looked at the students. She's like, oh, is that your mum? Is that your mum? And students are looking at us like, maybe they didn't understand what we were saying. So anyways, the person goes, and then the person comes back and they're taking more pictures. And then there's other people with this, it was a lady taking pictures. Then there's some other like men with the lady, and they're like pointing and stuff like that. And then the principal comes, and they're like, oh, Michaela, these people want you to go with them. I'm like, what? So I look at Emily, I'm like, excuse me? Like, what's going on here? Why do they want me to go with them? Anyway, so I went up and got my bag, and I went with them. And they put me in this van, yeah. So I'm like, Mashdan minivan. It wasn't even like a police car or anything. These people could have been any people that were taking me, but I guess they obviously had identification that they had shown the Chinese teachers there or whatever. So there was the driver, the passenger person. So that's two. There was two more. There was two sitting next. There was about eight of them. Okay, maybe not eight, because I think it was eight including me and the one lady. So I think maybe it was 6 or 7 people who came to like take me away. So what was it? So yeah, I was in the van, and it took me to some place. It was all dark, and so I was wondering what is going on. I don't speak Chinese. I'm in the van by myself, not by myself, but with the immigration people. None of them speak English, so I'm there like, what is going on? This building, it was all blacked out and stuff, no lights on. They had to like take the chain off the gate and all this. So I'm like, what is going on? And keeping in mind, I've only been in China for like a few days. So they take me into this building. They say, oh yeah, sit here. And then one of the teachers, she was like following behind in a car. So she came in and she's like, "Oh, Michaela, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." At that point, I was just like, whatever. If I'm going home, I'm going home. Like, just reimburse me my ticket. That is it. Like, whatever. So, anyways, I'm sitting in this room and there's like a desk, and this guy is sitting at the desk, and they've got like my passport and my residence thing, blah blah blah. And I think there was three of them at that point, three or two of them. And then there was this girl who could kind of speak English, so she was asking me questions and stuff. And then she went, maybe she went after about 15 minutes, and then some next person came, some guy who was like the translator. So they asked me questions like, "Oh, why are you here? Who did you come with? Like, do you know anyone in China?" I'm like, "I came by myself. I don't know anyone in China, and I'm here to work." They're like, "Oh, have you started working yet?" I'm like, "No, I'm here for training." So the guy is like translating to me, yeah. And then he goes over there, says some stuff, and then he comes back and he's like, "Okay, now I want you to tell me the truth." So I'm looking at him like, "You must want me to go crazy, because what are you talking about? Like, I've told you the truth. There's nothing to lie about. Like I was like in shock." But so he's like, "Oh, I want you to tell me the truth." So I'm like, "Well, what do you think I've lied about?" And he was like, "Oh, well, I think you know people in China. I want you to tell me who they are." I'm like, "Bruh." Well, I didn't say bruh, but I'm thinking, I was like, "I don't know anyone in China. I came by myself. Like, what do you want me to tell you?" So then they show me pictures of they have the other people who work at the school. So Emily and my two housemates, they have like copies of their passport. I'm like, "Oh, these people." I'm like, "Well, I didn't know them before I came to China. They're just other people that work at the school." And they're like, "Oh, okay, okay." And then maybe because they couldn't find anything on me because I'm here legally. The guy is like all like having conversation with me about, "Oh, I really want to travel and stuff. I've never left the country." I'm thinking to myself, please don't talk to me right now, because I feel really uncomfortable. Like, you got me in this room, you gave me water out, like something that I can't even drink the water because it tastes like it's gonna make me ill, and you're trying to have conversation with me. Like, don't talk to me. Like, I've been here for 5 days and I'm like stressing out right now. So having small talk with me, and basically after, I think I was in there for about an hour. Yeah, maybe a bit, just over an hour. They're like, "Oh, okay, you can go now." I could not believe it. Like, I could not believe it. But when I went back to the school, I found not yeah, I found out, or was told, whatever, that the immigration people, they get bonuses if they find, I don't know if this is the truth or just a rumor, but apparently they get bonuses if they find people who are there like illegally, or who are working and they're not supposed to work or whatever. They get bonuses for that if they catch people, basically. So they were basically trying to find something on me, even though there was nothing to find on me. And basically what the problem was why they took me away and they didn't take away any of my other housemates, because I was there on a I can't remember the name of the visa, but some visa. And then once you're there for a few days, you have to apply for residency. So basically, they had changed the time frame of when you can apply for this residency, which the school wasn't aware of. So it was like maybe 2 days passed, and then they came and got me, basically. But in the end, everything was fine. They applied for the right paperwork and stuff, and I was there working. But yeah, like that experience, I wanted to talk about it, but I thought, no, I'm not going to talk about it, because like, who knows who's going to be knocking on my door the next time? Like, you just never know. So I didn't talk about it then, but that was my experience. And I just remember the immigration office. It was weird. Like, it was a proper like building, but there was no one there. Like, no one there. All the people that were in the van with me, they were like Chinese, I don't know, police or whatever. They were all wearing normal clothes. I don't know what you would call them, officers. They had disappeared, and it was just the translation guy, and then the a woman and a guy like on the computer, like trying to find things on me. But yeah, it was just the build, yeah, just the whole experience, like. And then I wasn't allowed to go in back to the school until I'd got the proper paperwork done. So I think I had almost 2 weeks off after that. Yeah. And then the only messed up thing with that was that I didn't get my full pay because technically I wasn't working, which really and truly wasn't my issue. It was the school's issue and the government's issue. But I didn't make a fuss or anything. I was new, so I just went with it. But yeah, word of advice: if you're ever going to China, make sure your school knows like the proper procedure of applying for your paperwork, and that don't get taken away by immigration. Like I don't even know if these people were immigration because I didn't see no badges, but I'm just assuming so because that's the way they were acting. So I assume they were immigration. But make sure you have your paperwork, and when you're even if you're just in China on holiday, make sure you have. I wouldn't carry my proper passport, but make sure you have a printout copy of your passport and your visa and everything else. And yeah, that's what I have to say. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, just thinking about it now, it was like, bloody hell, like I went through a lot, a lot. But anyways, that's all I have to say now. Hope you've enjoyed this video and you've gotten something out of it if you are going to China. And that's it.